Praise the Lord. Welcome to daily broadcast, the Word of Faith. So we are doing a series on how Paul, the Apostle Paul, is survived the storms in his life. So I am reading from 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 23. 2 Corinthians 11:23. Are they ministers of Christ? I am more than, I labor more abundant in stripes, in prisons, and more frequent in death. Look at what he went through. See, in stripes, meaning he was beaten many times. In prisons, many times he was thrown in the Roman prisons, okay? And frequent in death, many times he was stoned. He had a near-death experience. He was stoned by the Jews. Then of the Jews, 2 Corinthians 11:24, of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. See, by the Jews, he was striped. That means he was flogged. He was whipped. You understand this? Then verse 25. Thrice I was beaten with rods. Thrice I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. Thrice I suffered a shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep. Look at this. Look at what he went through. I am going to go very slow. This should sink inside you. What is our problem comparing his? What is our situations comparing his? What is our circumstances comparing his? We are in no way matched to what is going through. Look at this. Thrice I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 2 Corinthians 11:25. Thrice I suffered a shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep. See, he was beaten with rods, not sticks, rods. He was stoned with stones. He suffered a shipwreck thrice. You know what is a shipwreck? That means when a storm came, we are going to talk about that in detail. When a storm came, the ship was broken into pieces. And in that cold weather, in the darkness, just hanging on a board for survival, a piece of wood, he was in the cold waters in the deep for one night and one full day. Imagine, there can be sharks, there can be any creatures there, and imagine the rains are pouring, no food, and the cold weather, shivering. Come on, can you picturize what all he went through? Can you understand how much he suffered? You understand this? And then verse 26, 2 Corinthians 11:26. In journeys, often in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils of my own countrymen, in perils of the heathen, in the perils of the wilderness. Look at the perils he went through. See, in perils of the robbers, that means in those days, they used to travel from place to place. There were robbers everywhere. Okay. In perils of their own countrymen, wherever he went, the Jews created a problem for him. Okay. And in perils of the heathen, so not only the Jews, even the heathen also stoned him many times. And in the perils of the wilderness, so when he went through the wilderness, sometimes there was no food, there was starvation, there was no water, there was hunger. So all these things Paul went through. Okay. And then in painfulness, in watching, in hunger, in thirst, in fasting, in cold, in nakedness. The list goes on. Okay. And verse 28. Beside all these things, okay, the care for all the churches. So this is what he went through. Then verse 29. And then he says, who is weak? I am not weak. Wow. What a statement. He's saying he went through hunger, he went through coldness, he went through nakedness, he went through perils of his own countrymen, heathen, robbers, shipwreck. Come on now, beaten by rods. And then he says, in 2 Corinthians 11:29, one cool statement Paul makes, who is weak? I am not weak. Now, how can a person say this when he went through, was beaten with rods, He was in prison, near death experiences, robbers, heathen stoned him, Jews stoned him, false brethren stoned him. Okay, he was weary, he was tired, he was hungry, he was cold, he was naked, fasting, shipwreck. Come on now. Then he says, and look at the statements, 2 Corinthians 11:29, who is weak? I am not weak. So what is the secret of Paul? We are going to study tomorrow. Okay, God bless you.